So if you don't quite have bodyweight pull-ups, but you want to work on that, you want to build toward that, there's a couple of different ways you can do so. One of which, an awesome way, but most people overlook it, is an isometric. There's not much that I have found that is more effective at building strength than isometric. That's why if you look back through our channel, you're going to find a push-up isometric, which is really a floor press isometric, a bar dip isometric. You're going to find different versions like that. We've even done front squatting and deadlift isometrics with our Penance Athletics program. The pull-up isometric causes you to change your way of thinking here. You're going to use a bar or rings or whatever you feel comfortable grabbing a hold of and trying to pull on, and you're not going to think about trying to pull yourself up. You're going to think about trying to pull it down to you. So if I grab a hold, and if I don't have the strength to do an actual pull-up, I'm going to pull this bar down as hard as I can, and I'm not going to move. Now, if you do have the strength to do a pull-up, you're going to end up doing a pull-up. But if you don't have that strength yet, what's going to end up happening is, since you're thinking about pulling it down to you, you're going to be pulling your elbows down, which is what you want, because that brings in these big lat muscles right here. So if we're pulling that bar down, and you could be palms forward, you could be palms back toward you, you could even stagger that grip, which most people find the best engagement with those lats, being in that stagger grip. But you're pulling for anywhere from 6 to 10 seconds as hard as you can, trying to bring that bar down to you. Again, if you have the strength to do a pull-up, you're going to do a pull-up. But if you don't, you might find that you start to feel weight come out of your feet. You might get to a certain point, and that's your sticking point, and that's okay, because as you work with this, that sticking point's get it higher and higher and higher. And next thing you know, your chin's over the bar. So 6 to 10 seconds each time, trying to pull that bar down to you as hard as you can. You could even put a scale underneath your feet and watch those numbers get smaller and smaller. The goal is get them to 0, but that also gives you feedback as you work with this, because although there's nothing I found more beneficial for building strength than isometrics, there's also nothing more frustrating than isometrics, because you don't move. So it's hard to tell what kind of progress you're making. But using a scale or something along those lines is going to help give you feedback, because let's say the first time you try this, your scale shows 100 pounds left on it. That means that you're 100 pounds away from pulling yourself up. But then work with it for a few weeks, and all of a sudden it's showing 60 pounds. Well, now you're 40 pounds closer. You're only 60 pounds away from that pull-up, and that's progress. Okay? Pull-up isometric. It's an awesome way to build strength in those arms and upper back, and build towards your first pull-up. Thank you guys for tuning in.